back to another episode of Bonded and Beyond, the podcast that keeps you entertained with everything relationships related. This is a safe space for messy feelings, honest stories, and everything in between. I'm your host, Berlin, and yeah, hi friends, how you been? It's been a minute, yeah, but we're back again with episode 3 of Bonded and Beyond. So, how have you guys been? How's life been? I hope life is treating all of you well because, hey, life is hard. But that's okay, that's fine. I hope you've been keeping it locked. I hope you've been watching our other episodes. And before I even go further, guys, I got to 100 subscribers. Yay. Thank you guys. You guys did it for me. Thank you. My goal was 100 subs and I've gotten to 100 subs and yeah. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. So the current goal now is 500 because if we could get to 100, this is a 500 nini. What's hindering us from getting to 500 subs? So yeah, keep it locked and subscribe. Tell your friend, share with your friend. We are going to pass that. 500 is not a lot. See you guys. See, it's not a lot. See, it's just kidogo. So yeah, welcome back to today's episode. This episode is different from the last one because as you've seen, as you watched the other one, it was heated. It had a lot of arguments, a lot of back and forth, and it was a very nice episode. I actually enjoyed it so much. Yeah, it may not seem like it, but I enjoyed it a lot. So today's episode is different in the sense that it's just me on my own. I don't have a guest with me today, and I'll be talking about something that is it's sort of personal. It's not like the other one that is something that we discuss outwardly. No, it's a rather personal episode today. So today's episode is titled Through My 20s Unfiltered. Yeah, guys, through my 20s. I know. When I remember I'm halfway through my 20s, I get scared. I'm like, hey, time is flying. Guys, ebu mniambie, how is your 20s treating you? Because mine, mine, mine is tough. Honestly, it's not tough. Actually, there's a lot of things involved. At some point, it's so nice. It's huko. It's so high, and at other points, I feel so low. But yeah, I guess that's what it means to be in your 20s. Yeah. So today's episode is kind of different. I wanted to speak from my heart and to tell you guys how I have been going through my 20s, how life in my 20s is treating me because I'm still in my 20s. But wow, honestly, our parents were teaching us, you don't steal, don't do this, don't do that. They were supposed to warn us about how our 20s were going to be because what in the hell? What in the hell is this? I'm like, sometimes I need a break. I'm just, I start to think about it and I'm like, I'm just a baby. Why am I suffering? But okay, it's fine. Let me not start so high. So, there's this pressure that comes with being in your 20s. I don't know if you guys have witnessed it. For those still in your 20s and for those beyond your 20s, you can comment down. You tell me, there's this pressure to have everything figured out in your 20s. And I think that is the one thing that is making us so have like a hard time in our 20s because we're putting a lot of pressure on ourselves and a lot of things are happening, a lot of changes, and it's all coming at you once at a very high speed that sometimes you're like, wait, it does not have to be like this, but you realize it when it's so late. I remember at some point, right after campus, a lot of things were happening around. My friends were getting married, people were getting good jobs, people were settling in relationships, like everything is happening for everyone else. Now me, I was feeling like I'm not progressing at all. I was feeling like I'm stuck. Okay, at that time I was around 22, 23, so I was under a lot of pressure that I was giving myself, like in as much as society has dictated things that they expect from you, But there's just that pressure that you put on yourself. You're like, guy, we went to school with this girl, she's getting married. At that time, you're not even in a serious relationship. So you're like, Kwani, where did I go wrong? Yeah, so a lot of thoughts and a lot of pressure has gone into you having to have figured out your life in your 20s, that is making it so hard to go through your 20s. Like one moment you are, like I said, one moment you are so happy, you are so fulfilled. The other moment you're like, have I really done enough? Have I really like achieved what I'm supposed to have achieved? And I'm like, there's no threshold, there's no measurement on what you're supposed to have achieved, because each and every one of us has a different journey. We get to do things at different times. There's no set limit. Like for example, there's someone whose stars, let's say the universe is working for them in a way that as early as 25 they have their first car, they've got their first million, and there's somebody else who will take longer to get to that point, to achieve that point. So I think, aside from the pressure of seeing others like going steps ahead before you get there, it's not a big deal. Like I came to calm down and realize that we actually don't have to be on the same level at every time. We all have different journeys. We are all going through life differently at different places. So what's the need of like giving yourself too much pressure? You end up having mental health issues, while you could have just waited and let the universe do its thing. Because me, I am a strong believer in God and on the universe working its way for me, even if it does not seem at that moment, it does not seem that everything is going according to my way. There's just a way that we maneuver it. So, uh, when I turned 20, I thought it was time for me to to figure out things, to find myself, to make mistakes. Like not to make mistakes. Like I figured I am supposed to be perfect. Like in my 20s is when, yeah. But as I've been progressing in my 20s, I realized that it's not about achieving everything as early. It's not about everything that everybody else is doing. It's about my own personal journey. So I started to focus on me, focus on what I want, and at my own pace. Because honestly, the pressure at 23 was so much. I was like, wow, how did she like get married this early? How did, oh, my friend move up? People are moving abroad, people are getting their dream jobs, and then I'm like, I had not even thought about where I want to work, like family. Like I had not decided that. I knew the course I did, it's what I wanted, but sikuwa nimeamua that this is the specific organization I want. At that point, I was just like, I need a job. I want to make my own money. I want to do what? Hey, that is a story for another day. So, I thought it's good to share what my 20s have been so far, because I'm a few years close to end of my 20s, and it's been a ride. It's been a ride. There's a point you get that you have a lot of weight that you don't even post. You can be in a very dark place. You can be going through it. You can be going through shit. I don't want to curse, sorry. You can be going through the worst in your life, and you don't post it, and people think you're okay. But it's good that we are currently normalizing speaking out, saying what we are feeling, and that's a good thing about being a Gen Z, because we acknowledge a lot of stuff to do with our mental health, so we speak out about it. And I found that to be so helpful, because I also was at that point at some time, and I used to show up smiling, be happy, what, but when I'm alone, I was going through it. I was so sad, I was depressed, I was thinking a lot. But and then I got someone to talk to about it. I shared what I was going through, and turns out she was going through the same thing. And then she was like, "Yeah, we decided to figure it out together." So I think as long as you have someone to help you figure it out, it does not have to be your friend, your family. You can even have a friend who listens. And it's also good to keep a close knit community of people around the same age, because they can understand what's happening at that age rather than people who are older than that age. I don't know if you get it. So yeah, so I just opened up to a few of my friends, but now different bits. There's one who knows everything, and then there's one who knows the stress that comes to me because of pressure of relationships. There's one who knows the pressure of financial stability and stuff. So the fact that I had a close knit, a community per se, that helped me to like go through it, even if I was not okay, I eventually pulled myself out of it. So life in the 20s does not have to be so hard. Not does not have to be so hard. It's hard, but you don't have to walk through it alone. I find it so good to have a community. Your community does not have to be 300 people or must be 30 people. You can just have like 3 or 5 close people who you can tell anything. If Giuseppe, you've had a very bad week, things were piling up, say at work, somebody is bullying you or anything. If you have someone who you can talk to about it, it makes it easy to like cruise through your 20s easily. Yeah. So in the process of also figuring out your 20s, it's so easy to get lost, because you're like, I'm 20, I'm supposed to have done this like the other person. So instead of focusing on building you in your own journey, you start focusing on another person's journey, and you it may take so long for you to realize that you've actually strayed away from what you were supposed to be doing. I don't know if you're getting this, but it's hard. You lose yourself in the process, because you're like, I want to be exactly like her because she did this, she got her million by 26. I want to do the same thing. So you focus on what she was doing instead of creating your own unique journey. So yeah, I figured out that in your twenties you lose yourself a number of times, but it's okay. You wake up, you fix up the mistakes, and move on. And one thing also that I noticed about being in your 20s is the fact that you will lose a lot of people. You will lose a lot of people. And at first, I was so sad when such things happened. I was like, kwani am I the problem? Why am I losing friends? Like, why is it so hard to like communicate anymore? Unlike when before. And then at some point I was like, maybe it's just that their time in my life is over, because I don't think you're meant to walk through the whole journey with everyone, because the kids we were born with on the same night kwa maternity, the ones we slept with kwa maternity, I've never met them again. At least we bonded over our crying. We moved to the next step. I met other people somewhere else. They impacted my life at that moment, but also we are moving. So maybe we are growing in different directions. Maybe I'm moving towards Christianity, the other one is moving towards paganism. And that's totally okay. So initially when it started happening to me, I was so sad. I was so worried. I was like, why? And being a people pleaser, I was like thinking a lot, and I thought that maybe I was the problem, because why were we drifting? And then after some time I sat and came to the realization that I'm not the problem. Like it's totally okay that they're moving on. It's totally okay that I'm moving on, because currently we are pursuing different dreams. We are going through different phases in life, and it's totally okay that we didn't get along anymore, as long as like si kitu mlipigana or anything. Yeah, so one thing about your 20s is you will lose a lot. You will lose a lot of people, But me, I chose to see the positive in it because maybe if I didn't lose some connections, maybe I would still be dragging behind. Ama too, maybe we lost it, tutapatana huko mbele. It's all part of the universe's big plan for us. But one thing you should not forget about your 20s is you will lose yourself, but you'll also find yourself, you'll find a version of yourself that you're so in love with, and then you'll be like, then why was I sad? Because that is how I felt. There's some point I was so lost. I didn't know even what I wanted. I didn't know who I wanted to be. But imagine right now, I feel like I know what I want to be. I know who I want to be. I love the space that I'm in. Like, I've not yet achieved everything that I want, but I decided to take it slow at my own pace. I'm like, God, take the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel and tell me where you need me to step on the gas. Tell me where you need to push on the brakes. Because I know there's no pressure. Yeah. So in as much as you'll ingia Instagram ni see sijui a 22-year-old. Kwanza me, I used to like scroll through TikTok and I see these TikTokers who are like way younger than me and they're making money, they're like being in big spaces. I was like, kwani what am I doing wrong? At some point I was like, ama nitajifunza dance so that I can be popular like this and this TikTok. I don't want to mention names, but I was like, I love dancing, but I don't know how to dance. But is it something I will enjoy? Like I want to project out to everyone on the public or not? Yeah. So I was lost, but I think I'm finding myself. I've not completely found myself, but I'm finding myself. So it's possible for everyone. Like it may seem challenging at the moment to be in your 20s, but imagine you'll figure it out. No pressure. After you figure out in your 30s, life is a journey. Like it does not stop hapo. It'll continue to figure out at the end of your 20s maybe, and then if you get 30s, you go like, in my 20s I was such a party person, nini. In your 30s upate like salvation and like I don't want to party anymore. That is also another version of yourself that you're supposed to find. So like I'm like we are constantly changing, we're constantly growing, so there's no need to like put pressure on yourself that you have to be this person because there are different seasons in life. So yeah, so if you've been feeling, I want to read you something that I wrote because hey, wait, before I finish, have you guys realized, are you guys like losing memory? Because I keep forgetting things. So I wrote this so that I don't forget. If you've been feeling the pressure, the loneliness, the confusion, I hope this reminded you that you're not alone. You're not alone. We've all been through there. We are all at that point, and we'll figure it out, guys. It's not that serious. I mean, it's never that serious. We are going to figure it out. Kama our parents figured it out wakapita the 20s wakafika penye wako sahi, kwani sisi what will happen? It's different times, but we'll figure it out, okay? Yeah. So we don't have to have all the answers right now, but eventually we're going to get there. So that is the end of my episode for today. It was so short. I just wanted to pour my heart out and help out someone who maybe is feeling lost, confused, and trying to figure out life in their 20s. And I'm like, the takeaway for the whole thing is we'll figure it out. It does not matter the time, it does not matter when, we are going to figure it out. I'm also still figuring it out, but we'll do. Yeah, so don't put too much pressure on yourself. Live life to the fullest. Kwanza your 20s is supposed to be the best years of your life. So like live your life to the fullest. Like ukifika 30, whatever, nini nini, we have a family, you're not like regretting why you didn't do some things. Live your life to the fullest. Make those mistakes. Don't try to live a perfect life. Hey, trying to live a perfect life is so hard. It's so boring. You're the uko depressed. Like take life as it is, with all the mistakes, with everything, and then you'll make mistakes, you learn from them and improve. Next time you won't fall back to the same mistakes. So yeah, that is the takeaway. You'll make mistakes, you'll figure it out, and you'll move on. Now you'll find yourself and life in your 20s will be actually pleasant. It's pleasant. Actually, if you found yourself, if you figured out, I'm sure you can't figure it out 100%. Like I said, life is a journey. You keep moving and with changing seasons, but eventually you are going to figure it out, and you are going to find something that works for you, that makes it easy to be in your 20s. So yeah, that's my episode for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've gotten some clarity if you are feeling stuck or in a place where you needed to hear some words of encouragement. I mean, I've, I've been through there, I'm still there, but I'm very confident that I'll figure everything out when I'm supposed to figure it out. So yeah, thank you guys for watching till this far. Thank you for subscribing. Please continue subscribing and sharing with your friends. Please, please, please. Yeah, thank you. So our podcast Instagram account is Bonded and Beyond. My Instagram account as the host is Award Berlin. And yeah, what else? See you on the next one. Bye.